Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Helen with One Structural. This is David, principal
Hey,
of One
everybody.
Structural.
Hello.
And of course, our divisions, Retrofit 1, ADU1, and Balcony 1. So thank you so much for joining us. I know it was a little last minute sending out those flyers, but I appreciate everybody who joining us. And if you are joining us later, welcome. So today, very juicy topic regarding the CalHFA ADU grant. This applies to single-family property owners, and they did just receive, I believe, more money to be able
$100
to
million. I think it is.
Right, millions of dollars.
$100 million.
To help single-family property owners be able to have some grant money towards the pre-development costs, which we will go over, just to really help this whole increase of housing initiative across the state. So we're going to go over the qualifications, the application process, and some of the terms. And of course, if you feel you qualify and you're ready for this, consult with any of the recommended banks that they have that are part of the program. You can also reach out to the program itself to really, just line by line, make sure you fully understand it. Because again, we're just a contractor here to help spread the information. Always do your due diligence, especially when it comes to finances.
Yeah, it's a really good idea, though, isn't it? $100 million set aside for the pre-development costs. And Helen will go through that a little bit. It's kind of a misnomer. You think that you can get $40,000 towards the construction of your ADU. It's not quite that. So hate to burst your bubble, but the pre-development costs can add up, can't they, Helen?
Right, definitely. And
Like
yes,
permit
again,
fees, right? What else?
Yeah.
Impact fees.
Any surveys, soils reports, anything like that your property may need to really get it prepared and ready for an ADU. This is what that program will cover. And like David mentioned, up to $40,000 per household that can go towards these pre-development costs. And so I guess the one of the requirements is a linking with a construction loan. And this is when that program can help with reimbursement costs for these pre-development elements, which we will get into. So I'm going to share my screen, and as always, with even my city spotlights, anything that I ever share, I share directly from these websites, so that way when you look it up on your own, you are seeing the exact form or website that I went over. So honestly, you can just Google CalHFA ADU grant, and you will find all of these forms. So I have them all up, so hopefully they are easy to follow all together. So I'm going to start with, this is the main screen. I'm just going to check that you guys can see this. Yes, you can. I already zoomed in. So this is exactly, if you Google CalHFA ADU grant, you will come to this page. It basically reiterates the up to $40,000 to reimburse keyword pre-development and the non-reoccurring closing costs associated with a construction loan that you get for your ADU. And I would like to add the main qualifier, I guess, for this is that it is for low to moderate incomes. However, if you don't feel you're in that bracket, stick around, because you will actually be shocked at what they consider low to moderate income. But I guess with these days, with inflation and just the cost of living in California, it sort of sadly makes a lot of sense. But just to throw it out there, in Los Angeles, the qualifying income is $180,000 a year. So a lot, if not most people, will qualify for this.
And Marin County, another spoiler here, is $300,000.
Yeah, so not exactly what we would think. I guess back in the day for low and moderate income, things have, times have changed. Yeah. But I guess, hey,
you might qualify.
Yeah, exactly.
You just never know.
You may qualify for this, which is a good thing, at least. So I won't really get into detail. If you're here, you hopefully already know what an ADU is, accessory dwelling unit, which again, after 2020, the laws were changed, amended, and added. to really help make it easier to add ADUs to your property. And again, the law allows for single family and multifamily. However, for this grant, eligibility is based on SFR, single family resident homeowners. With, again, we'll go over briefly a list of what those low to moderate incomes are. So these are the CalHFA grant program lenders. So I believe you have to use one of these, loan officers within these banks to help guide you through these program, and they have already been approved and trained by the CalHFA agency. So here's a list.
Lots of lenders. You have a whole list of people that you can call up and see if you can get a loan from them.
Right,
and it's a traditional loan. And I think if you scroll down a little bit, Helen,
Sure.
it'll show you what documents you need to prove up the loan to obtain it. Same thing that you supply if you're getting a HELOC or a primary mortgage: pay stubs, bank statements, employment history, tax returns. It's like you're getting a regular loan on your house, because it is a construction loan at the end of the day. Excuse me.
Right. And they do have something about here for if you want to buy a manufactured, which are those prefab ADUs, which I think sometimes they do work well for single family homes. We don't do prefab, but if that works better for your property, go for it. And then these are some of their financing partners that will help you with those prefab units. But
Yeah,
again,
you
we
only
don't
have
do
two
that.
options here, though.
Yeah.
Whereas you probably have what?
Way more.
2 dozen?
Right. So in case these, I
20?
would say, would apply, you will not use prefab if you're doing a garage conversion, if you need to build on top of a garage or build on top of your home, or if you just want more options, different sizes, and kind of more control over the layout, the design, exterior, interior, sizing, bedrooms, finishes, etc. Then that's where we would come in, because we do a personalized plan, and we do ground up construction on site as well as conversions. So these are the grant program lenders that would be able to assist with that. So I will now go to our next screen. So that was basically the main website that has links to your lenders and just general information about the program. I'm now going to share, I believe it's kind of, maybe like a little cheat sheet. Let me see. Term sheet, they call it. And it should be zoomed for you to see. Here it is. So this kind of breaks down eligibility, qualifications, and program descriptions. Do you want to?
No, I didn't like this this sheet that we're reviewing, but the other one was a little bit better. Let's see here. So it appears that in order to qualify for the CalHFA grant, that you're going to have to use a lender in their program, and they basically spell that out here. Various owner participant can use their own various delivery options to price and deliver their construction loans. Not really sure what that means. Let's scroll down.
Well, like the terms and how they want to receive the loan.
This is not the.
Here, I'll describe this, because I went over this a little bit. So it really just goes over how to be eligible. Of course, your qualifications, which you have to meet these income limits, which I'll open up right now. And what you're going to need basically for submitting your application. The application, we can go through the agreement basically, but it's just a bunch of legal jargon, which again, I recommend and highly suggest you go over that with your trusted partners, because you're basically taking out a construction loan.
But I think your lender will go over this with you at the time of application for the grant.
Right.
And the lender should have all these documents, like a copy of the construction loan, deed of trust, the construction loan approval documents, escrow and wire instructions, loan estimate, closing disclosures. All of that will be prepared by the lender at the end once these funds are getting ready to be dispersed. Can we go back to the first website?
Yeah, sure. Just to finish this up, again, they just want to make sure that your ADU is going to meet all codes, all ordinances. It's going to follow whatever the FHA, Fannie Mae requirements are, any impact fees, permit fees, which of course are issued by the city when you submit plans. They want to just make sure everything is basically done, satisfied.
Here's something interesting. There's a CalHFA applicant affidavit that must be signed in connection with the grant, where you certify that it's owner occupancy.
Right.
So maybe we should click that application affidavit to see if it opens up.
open.
Okay.
Let me make
Let's
sure
see,
you
does
guys
it have anything
can
here
see
about?
this.
It looks like owner occupancy applicant certifies. Go down. Owner occupancy applicant certifies that I occupy the above property as my primary residence. Interesting that this affidavit doesn't have any timeline. So I know SB9 and some of the other permissive property rule or ADU rules and lot splitting rules will require owner occupancy for up to 3 years. So they're giving you this grant by just saying that I'm the owner and this is my primary residence right now.
Right, but in terms of I occupy it as my property, my primary residence, because in regular ADU rules, you can have your single family home and the ADU, and there's no owner occupancy requirements at all. However, it seems like with this program, there is.
Yeah, you're just swearing that you live in the house.
Right, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying in general, if you are not using this program, there are no owner
Oh,
occupancy
otherwise, yes.
requirements. It looks like this program, which I think is a huge one to point out, is requiring owner occupancy within the primary residence if you want to use their grant. So I guess they're just basically trying to eliminate investors
Yes.
from taking this money,
Looks like
and
it.
they really just want it for the homeowner who's living there, which makes a lot of
There's
sense.
no time limit. So maybe
Hmm.
you only have to certify at the time that the grant is issued. You don't have to recertify. I don't
I
think
wonder
you can
too.
recertify.
Yeah, it doesn't say. So what David's trying to say is, what if you certify? Yes, I live here. We built the ADU. It's finished. Does
And then
the
you wanna
owner,
move out.
right?
Then
Does
you
the owner
have
have the
to pay it
ability to
back.
leave? Exactly. I wonder. So that's something I would say and highly recommend to speak with a CalHFA person. But of
Call
course,
them up.
you may not want to raise any red flags either. So seems like a little gray area. If we find something that does reflect a timeline ever, I will have another webinar to let everybody know.
Okay, can we check the website again, please?
Yes, so I'm going to stop sharing. David wants to go back
Yes.
to our regular website.
Let's see here.
I hope I didn't close it. No, here we go.
All right, let's scroll down. Let's scroll down here to. Let's make it that go.
Were you trying to go to the
No, here we
income
are.
levels?
Okay, so can we go back here? How do we go?
No.
Am I sharing the screen?
We can
Okay,
share.
so this is a.
No.
No, okay. How do we
So
share
this is
that
fine.
screen?
Stop sharing. Sorry, guys.
Technical
David
difficulties
doesn't
here.
do this often,
Yeah.
so I will help
You're much
share.
more interesting than I am, believe me.
Here, which one is it? Is it this?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, so the CalHFA publishes this sort of cheat sheet PDF that goes through the financing program. Again, $100 million in grants, $40 maximum per homeowner, 40,000, excuse me, per homeowner, 2,500 potential ADUs financed. So they've already. So it looks like just dividing 100 million by 40,000 to get the 2,500. So
right.
A lot of people won't max out this $40,000 because permits, fees, permits, impact fees, and the other stuff won't come out to be that much.
Exactly. And not every property will need surveys or soils report. That's usually, required in certain situations, hillside zones, etc. Sometimes the city may want it, but usually these pre-development fees don't even add up to 40, just in some cases.
But here's the bread and butter, right? Pre-development costs include, but are not limited to, architectural design. So those would be the designs for the ADU, the engineering as well. Permit fees are expensive. Soil tests, if you live in a hillside area or a liquefaction zone or some area where the local jurisdiction requires you to submit a soils test. And aren't we getting bids right now for soils reports? Like
yes.
$6,000-7,000?
Yeah, the average right now for these soil tests, unfortunately, used to be 3 to 5. I think I literally just got 7, if not 8, soils reports and geotesting bids for some of our clients. The average has been 6,000 at
That'll
this
add
point
up.
for those.
Impact fees, like school fees and stuff like that. If you're building an over 750 square
Right.
foot ADU, you're gonna have impact fees. Property surveys, always good to have. So when you're building a detached ADU, you're going to need a property survey in order to show where the ADU is going to be situated on the existing property. Energy reports, Title 24 reports as required. I think that'll be part of that, and also utility hookups.
I like this one.
I like
That's
this
a great
too.
one.
Yeah, the city on a new sewer utility hookup could charge you a ton of money. It's covered here.
Right. That's awesome. We have yet to see anybody willing to cover that because
Mhm.
something that when developing an ADU, I did do a webinar on this. So if you would like to watch, go check it out, about, all things to consider when adding an ADU. And part of that is, upgrading electrical panel, adding utility hookups that you'll need, especially if you want to rent this out separately and you need a new meter or something like that.
And then here, interest rate buy downs. Let's say, for example, you buy down the interest rate on your loan. Let's say the construction loan has a 7% interest rate, but you can pay $7,500 up front to buy that interest rate down to 5%, 4.5%. Those costs are eligible costs. So that's really that's really where you can see a savings here, or really take advantage of the full amount of the grant. So talk to your lender about that as well. So I think this is the most important part: who is eligible costs, and the application stuff, pre-development, grant disbursement. That's all like sort of stuff that you can read on your own and get familiar with. But I feel like. But
what I do want to show everybody
the income limits.
Is this income limit page, because again, don't run off if you feel you're fortunate to not be in that low income threshold. Again, you'd be surprised what they consider. So I will find
this document is also published on the website.
Yes, so here it is. Lo and behold, I need it to be large for our viewers to see. I see. So it is.
Let's go through some highlights. Orange County, $235,000 household income limits. Right. We see a lot of people in San Bernardino looking for it because there's a lot of land out there.
Right, Riverside.
Riverside is great. Where's Riverside?
Riverside's right here. $173,000 for your household income limit in order to qualify.
We scroll down to
San Diego. Sorry, David. $211,000 in San Diego.
Santa Clara, San Mateo, and
LA 180. So
Marin,
as you can see, it's
definitely
definitely not. It's all six-figure household incomes basically, in order to qualify, depending on where you live. Yeah. So a lot of customers, I would say, fall between those which are, very fortunate incomes to have. So if you do qualify, give us a call. We can help you at least get connected with the program.
We'll point you in the right direction, I think.
Right. We'll get you connected, but we still, as always, do your due diligence, speak with that lender, make sure you understand fully, what you're getting yourself into. But if all goes well, it looks like you can, again, qualify up to $40,000. So especially if your home is on a hillside and some of those geo reports and soils reports were hindering your development of even an ADU project, this may be the way that you can get that ADU done after all.
Yes. Thank you. Very informative, Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, David. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you have any questions, reach us right here. And just to throw it out, we have a couple of live seminars with, I believe, AGLA coming up in August. I think our next one, maybe August 17th, something like that. So I'll send another blast right before, so you guys can check that out, which we will be covering all of our divisions, ADUs, balcony inspections per SB 326, SB 721 for buildings with 3 or more units that you have to get your balconies and decks, catwalks, walkways inspected now every few years. So we can do those inspections, repairs, and get your building, your tenants and residents safe. So we will be discussing all of our divisions, ADUs, retrofit, and balconies at these webinars. I'll send another email at that time.
And we're also selling now ice cream and sandwiches too. So
David wishes we were. That may be a sandwich one coming up in the next couple of years. But for now, contact us for any of your multifamily construction needs. Contact David for any of your sandwich one needs. Thank you, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.